If you've been watching my videos lately, you know that I am building a portfolio within my portfolio, and I'm allocating 10% of my portfolio, which amounts to roughly $100,000, to what I call exponential growth companies. And I have been basically putting them into those areas that I believe where growth is going to come in the next 3 to 5 years exponentially, where you can see 1,000% return, 2,000% return. And these companies all need to be, in order to qualify for my portfolio, under $10 a share. And I find them, oddly enough, most of them, from members of my tribe. The tribe is active members at bestofusinvestors.com. They have sent me their email address and their name, and then I send them an invitation to our Discord. And at the Discord, we have roughly, I think, 15,000 people there now. They basically share their insights, and I share my insights. And quite often they will say, take a look at this company. Well, there's one that I'm expanding into a new area that I want to share with you, and I think it's a big winner. So stay with me here. While I'm gone, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so you get notified whenever I put out a new video, and then give me a thumbs up. Helps the algorithm, gets some of your friends to find us as well. Be right back.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
Okay, the company I want to talk about is Gilat Satellite Networks. They don't throw rockets up into the sky. That's all being done by Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. And I did a video on that on January the 15th. And this is the thumbnail for it, so you can find it. And that'll explain to you why I believe that Jeff and Elon are so anxious to put thousands of satellites in the sky, as they recognize that the way that you and I receive our internet service is going to change dramatically. And that's going to be from satellites that you're basically generate some data on your phone or on your laptop or your desktop, and it moves through the internet and it goes through 5G. And rather now going straight to towers and go from tower to tower to tower, it's going to go from your phone or your computer to a satellite. And these are low orbiting satellites that move across the sky and transfer data rather than from tower to tower, from satellite to satellite. Now, what you've got to recognize is that there has to be software both down here and up there to make this work. And there has to be communication systems to make that work. And those are the companies that are going to explode. And let me give you an example. When Apple comes out with a new phone and it has some new gimmick to it that really makes it better, you go and you buy it. Well, you know Apple stock. What you don't know is who provided the wherewithal in the phone to make that happen. And that's many times a stock that is selling before they got their association with Apple, before Apple's number of phones go through the sky, and they're selling for somewhere around $2, $3 a share. That's who we're looking for. Well, Gilat is one of those. That's GILAT, ticker symbol GILT. They're a company that's actually been around since 1987 in communication devices. And they've prodded along and made some good money. Now, when I analyze these, first of all, let me say that I got most of my cue on this from James Colucci, Colucci. James is regularly communicates with me and shares a lot of ideas. This is one that I dug very deep into, spent a lot of time on, and I'm going to share with you in the description all the articles he sent me, all the information that he sent me, and then I took it to Seeking Alpha to convince me that what he was saying was right. As is my normal habit, when I want to look into a stock, I first come to the Seeking Alpha analysis sheet. And as you can see, if I look at a 1-year chart, the stock has been up around $10.18, closed today at $9.38. I bought it at about $9.20 and this earlier today. And as you can see, it had actually in July dropped down to in the fives, moved across, and then got some good publicity and has had a bit of a climb, a very good climb since the first of the year, up from 681 to 938. That would have been probably the time to get in it. So as you can see, it has had a high of 964 and a low of 419 in the past year. What I do then is come down here to the company profile, and basically what I want to know is, what do they do? And it's basically saying them and their subsidiaries provide satellite-based broad communication solutions for services in Latin America, Asia Pacific, North America, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And so what this is there are satellites up in the sky right now providing low people who don't have fiber optic cable some level of internet service, and they've been doing it for some time. What's happened though is they have gotten much better at it, and their latency is actually better than that of fiber optic. They have worked out the coverage routes such that one satellite passes information on to the next one as the satellites move through the sky at a different rotation than that of the United States, of the world. So they've perfected their craft. They've been around since 1968. They have 864 employees, and they're actually located in Israel. So they've had pretty steady sales, 279 million back there, 263. What's happening is, as you possibly have seen, I did a video in January the 15th about how Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and several others are getting into this business, and they're going to be providing us internet service from satellites in the near future. And these numbers are going to explode because their software, their artificial intelligence that goes both in the satellites as well as on the ground is needed to make this whole system work. And this is going to be the system of the future. As you can see, year to year, their actual growth is down. The pandemic has slowed down some of the potential growth. Their margins are high, about 27%. They do not pay a dividend because they aren't really making any money at this point. But the future is strong. The capitalization rate of about 5.12 million, so they're not large. They do have some debt of 9.6 million, but they also got cash. They got $51 million in cash, and I read recently where they just got a $1 billion loan or funds from the UK to help expedite the implementation of their satellite systems in England. This is where I come for verification that, in fact, I'm looking at a stock that has been recognized as some future potential. And I want to see institutions owning it. These are mutual funds, ETFs, large Goldman Sachs type organizations. Corporations, not much of a play there. Individuals, not much of a play. These are actually the insiders. And then hedge fund managers, 5%. But this is where I really light up. This is venture capital firms. These are the angel investors who say, yeah, this is where we want our money, and we recognize it's going to be 3 to 5 years, but before we can get our money out. But this is where 43%, 44% of their capitalization has come from. They're pretty much, these are their competitors or their peers, and you can see they're all about the same size. Some of them have a few more employees, but this is where I start my search. Where I then go is, and I'll show you, reading articles. Finding out what the press is saying about it, and we'll look at that. So let's move back to the desk. Okay, so you can see they've been around a while. They got some employees. They're from Israel. What really strikes me about this is they're established. They haven't made a lot of money. They do have some money, and people are throwing money at them because they like me and hopefully you, recognize this is a up and coming part of, or a rebirth, if you will, of the internet. And I think that's what I even referred to it when I was talking about the satellites themselves. And this, we know what Amazon's worth, we know what Tesla's worth, but this is a $9 stock. And this could be a $900 stock. And this could make you and I very wealthy. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to go to Seeking Alpha on your own, read through the description, put these numbers to make you comfortable, and then go through James's articles and read them like I have and come to the same conclusion or a different conclusion. But my conclusion was I have to own this stock. This is going to be one of those stocks that are going to help me achieve my number 3 goal in investing, and that is to create $24 million worth of wealth that I can pass on to my heirs so that I make a difference on this earth. This is also part of my number 1 goal of making good financial decisions. Number 2 goal is always to keep more of what you make by understanding the tax code. And number 3 goal is to create family wealth. This is one that's going to do it. The video I did yesterday, I went through, I think it's 12 stocks that I currently own that fall into this category. I bought them all for under $10 a share. Some of them have moved up beyond $10 a share. But I think they're all potentially 10Xers. So if you haven't seen that video, that came out yesterday. And then I how it works here is I notified the people on our tribe that subscribe to our premium channel in our Discord that I was going to buy 1,000 shares of Gilat, and I did on Friday. I let them know Friday morning so that if, in fact, they wanted to do their early research and get in on it as well, that they're ahead of the game. Now we'll put this video out, and there's a good possibility that more of you will see it, and you'll take us up exponentially today, tomorrow, and the next day. That's kind of how it works in this world. So that's Gilat. That's Best of Us Investors, and I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer.